Welcome back to another episode of Crypto and Things. I am your host, Scott Cunningham, aka Scott C Business. Today, we're going to be talking about YouTube monetization and then comparing it with a lot of these other blockchain social media alternatives where you can earn from day one. Whereas YouTube, it has taken me about close to 3 years, maybe a little more than 3 years, to finally get YouTube monetized. And while I'm earning, somewhere close to $1 or so a day now, that's still significantly less than what I'm earning on a lot of these different alternatives, not all together, but just individually. We'll go through some of these examples. But you can also start earning on these platforms on the very first day that you start using them. So you don't have to invest 3 years worth of time making. I've made about 379 episodes now, so quite a bit of work. And this is also excluding anything that I've removed or did beforehand. So it's probably well over 400 now. The point being, though, that YouTube is not going to work in your favor for the most part. You also have to dedicate just ridiculous amounts of time to even get to the point where you're earning a very small amount. Whereas again, with these blockchain alternatives, you could be earning a lot from day one, and it's not at the expense of your viewers, right? So on YouTube, if I want to make more money, I've got to put, ads before, ads mid-roll, ads afterwards, right? If you're trying to maximize how much you're going to earn, and you might as well, because YouTube is going to advertise on your videos regardless. So the difference is whether or not you actually want to make some money, but you probably do have to add a little bit more ads than what would otherwise be there, especially for like mid-roll ads. The point though is that you can do all of this and make way more money and with way less effort and time invested to get to that point just by using other alternatives. And maybe people aren't aware, but I'd like to actually show you guys what I've been earning on these platforms and compare, so you have a very, very good idea, especially for people who are on YouTube creating right now and they're wondering, or they're thinking to themselves, oh, I don't want to use these alternatives because I'm, making money here. Why would I dilute that, right? Well, you're going to make more on these other platforms. Case in point, I've only got just under 2,500 subs on YouTube, which most people would say is pretty small. And yet I'm able to make $1 a day. But then when we look at other platforms I'm on, I'm making hundreds of dollars a month, and it's pretty substantial. That's also in US dollars, whereas here on YouTube I have it set to Canadian dollars. So it is significantly less. In that case, it's closer to 70 cents US. But let me actually share my screen so that you guys can see what I'm talking about here. And let's actually go through YouTube and then also take a look at some of these other platforms. So as you can see, I got started in the month of October on about October 13th or so. So originally I was just running one ad beforehand. I changed it later on to optimize to whatever YouTube wanted to do. So I'm making closer to $1 a day as of the end of October and going into November. That's kind of what I'm seeing now. But I earned $13.87 Canadian in the month of October. Not something to complain about. Everyone likes free money, or rather, at least monetization. But this is because I have to feed all these ads to my viewers, right? So that is less ideal of a viewing experience. Now, when we look at something like LBRY or 3Speak or Read.Cash or PublishOX or SoMe.social, I'm able to earn just from sharing content, and there is no advertisements. There's no expense at the this isn't at the expense of the user's time, right? Everyone benefits here. I make more money, the user doesn't watch ads, and they're able to support a decentralized platform. So it's just like a win-win scenario for everyone. Plus, on some platforms like LBRY, even as a viewer, you're able to earn LBC for viewing content. Now, I'm not going to go through every single platform because there's a bunch. So we're just going to look at my September crypto earnings and compare that way. I'll have my October report out fairly soon, but I haven't done that yet. So we're just going to look at the previous month. But even just looking at the previous month, Publish OX I got about $50 US. That's way more than I'll get even if I'm earning $1 a day on YouTube Canadian, right? So for even some of my lower performing stuff, it's significantly more. Mind you, for these platforms that are performing very poorly, like Minds, Uptrend, Steam, yes, of course, these are not more than YouTube. But these aren't my, top recommended platforms. It's more so these other platforms that I would recommend as an alternative where you can also earn quite a bit without, making your user experience for your viewers worse, right? So when we look at something like Read.cash, this is just based on engagement, a decent amount of money, right? And I can even link my library videos and get views like that via embedding them on Read.cash. So you kind of get the best of both worlds there. With Hive is the much better version of Steam. And again, I'm earning a fairly decent amount here. Something that's also very interesting is that there's way less people on these platforms. So as they get more adoption and there's more viewers, more people to help you get rewards, you're going to earn more and more and more. With YouTube being as big as it is, there's so much noise that you're also competing with. And it's sometimes hard to break through that. And again, you're going to end up spending a lot more effort building your YouTube channel and time. And the worst part is, too, that we haven't even really talked about yet, is that YouTube could, demonetize you, ban you. They could make all of your hard work for nothing. That doesn't happen on these other platforms. Though it is possible on some of the more centralized ones. On the decentralized ones like Hive and LBRY, that's just not going to happen, right? So there's a lot of benefits to using these. And again, even from a purely selfish standpoint, you're going to make more money using these. And again, you don't have to stop using YouTube either. You can use all of these. You don't have to spread yourself thin or dilute your audience, so to speak. You could just start using these. You don't even have to push your audience there, though I recommend you do, because again, it's better for them and you, and you're going to start earning right away. So again, like LBRY has a YouTube sync, so you can automatically sync your YouTube channel and get started right away, and you don't even have to do anything for this to happen. It'll just kind of run in the background, and it'll just keep uploading your YouTube videos. So that's a great way to do that. There isn't a lot of those types of options like with like Hive and stuff. Most of this is manual upload, but it's absolutely worth it. And no one should be scoffing at an extra $300-400 a month, because that can make a pretty big difference to some people. That could be, close to paying for rent, or at least covering all your utilities and cell phone and internet and stuff like that. So again, this can make a huge, huge difference for a lot of people. I just wanted to sort of come on here and show the difference now that I'm finally YouTube monetized. This is partly celebrating that I'm monetized, but partly showing you guys that after all of this hard work, after years and years and years, hundreds of episodes, just countless hours of work. If you were to measure how many hours I've put into this, and then look at my revenue and break that down on an hourly basis, I'm earning fractions of a cent per hour based on what I've made in total. But absolutely, that is not the case when we're talking about LBRY and other blockchain alternatives, where you can earn a really decent amount from day one. And most people give up because they're discouraged, because they're not getting engagement, because they're not able to earn anything. I think if you're able to get some money in your hand, you're like, this is real. I'm actually able to get something tangible. This is working. This is a functional product that actually can monetize, and I actually have some sort of success, or at least the notion of success, to continue to encourage you to keep going. You shouldn't necessarily only do something if you're making money from it, right? But knowing that you can make money from it and seeing the money coming in is definitely going to motivate you, because you know that this is a viable alternative to what you've been doing. You can actually generate profits from doing this, and it could actually be viable and sustainable. When people make 100 YouTube videos and make nothing, that is pretty discouraging. Again, you should be doing it because you enjoy it, not for the money, but it's discouraging to see that the platform is basically telling you that what you've created doesn't have value, regardless of the value it provides to your viewers. Whereas these blockchain alternatives are telling you, yes, from day one, from the very first view, you are providing value. Here's some value back. And I think that is a very, very powerful notion that will encourage a lot more people to get involved. Once big creators on YouTube actually start to compare earnings and actually get involved in these, because again, I know I've talked to many big creators who, some have eventually come over and started using these platforms because they've realized how much they can earn. But some have said, I don't want to dilute my audience. I'm probably not going to make any money there, so there's no point in wasting my time. I'm making good money on YouTube. Again, you don't have to, it's not a zero-sum game. I'm on literally every platform. Yes, it may take more time, but you can also focus on the stuff that works better for you. Anyways, I hope this was a good overview of the differences here and how I sort of compare these. Let me know what you guys are doing, though. What do you think of the YouTube monetization model? What do you think of the other models that we've talked about? I'm not really going thoroughly in depth to these other models like LBRY and how you actually earn. I've talked about all this before. Really, this was kind of just to announce that I've been monetized on YouTube and to sort of do a little quick comparison. Also to sort of show you guys and announce the new angles and setup that I'm using for this show. I hope you guys like the new lighting. I hope you guys like the new angles and everything like that. Let me know what you guys think, though. I'm excited to keep changing things and upgrading and moving the studio around. I plan to do some really big upgrades before the end of the year, so stay tuned for that, and let me know what you guys think about this. What are you watching on? What are you earning on? Where are you sharing your creations? What is the best for you, and why do you make those decisions? What's important to you? Is it monetization? Is it engagement? Is it reach? Is it potential audience size? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.